cities of Edison, Old Bridge, and also around Woodbridge. This goes until 12:45 this afternoon. So by 12:30, we're looking at this around Patterson, 12:48 New York, New Rochelle, you'll be under this around 103, Long Branch, 128, and in Babylon, about 148 this afternoon. So if you are in some of these areas, if you're going to be headed to these areas, just know if you could just wait to let this go past and then get out on the roadways, that's going to be your best bet, because again, we're talking about pileups, accidents, because you can't see, snow is blowing, and reduced visibility is what you have. Now we look over towards the snow squall, towards Hamilton, Philadelphia are in under this as well, and Trenton. This goes until 12:45. Again, 12:39 Philly, this is headed towards you. Trenton, 12:44. We're looking at this around Manchester, 139, Toms River, 152. So we're looking at some bigger cities that are really in under this. This is going to be a rough go of it for sure. Let's head this over to Molly.
Well, it's a blizzard in Buffalo, winds gusting as high as 70 miles per hour at one point. And this video is evidence of what conditions in western New York have been like over the last 24 hours. At first glance, this looks like a snowy lake, but this is in fact inside Highmark Stadium, home of the Buffalo Bills. Blowing winds, low visibility, and dangerously cold weather. The NFL and New York's governor making the decision to move the playoff game between the Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers until tomorrow.
Now, a friend of the show, Lauren Fix, the car coach, joins us live from Buffalo right now. Lauren, the governor worked with the NFL to move the game, and that game was scheduled to kick off at the top of the hour because of the dangerous travel conditions. A travel advisory remains in effect for all of Erie County. What's it look like there right now?
Well, I'm in the north towns, and my daughter lives in the south towns near the stadium, and it's much worse in the south towns. During the night, the snow shifted north. We were in a total blizzard here, but what we have here is high winds. We have no one's allowed to be out on the road, so I'm not out on the roads either. I would if I had to be. But the truth is, stay home. It's very cold, much different than last year's blizzard, where we had a lot of snow. This, we have a lot of wind and very cold temperatures. The best thing anyone can do who's watching from the Western New York area is stay home, stay warm. If it's an emergency, call for help. But it is really bitter cold out, and I'm supposed to be at the game tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes.
Now, Lauren, when the travel ban is finally lifted and people can get out on the roads, what are your tips for people who are going to be getting in their cars that perhaps are maybe covered in snow?
Well, the first thing you want to do is clean off the roof of your car, the hood, the headlights, the taillights, the brake lights, because the key is to see and be seen. And I think people forget about that. They leave the snow on the top of their SUV. You will get a ticket for that, because that snow would go off on the vehicle behind you and potentially cause an accident. So remember, it's your responsibility to clean all the snow off your vehicle, start it up, let it warm up, so when you get in there, turn on those heated seats if you have them. Bring extra clothes. I'm dressed for this weather. You have to have boots, gloves, hat, scarf, put them in the vehicle with you, even if you don't use them. Better to be safe if you have hand warmers and foot warmers. Very smart to carry that. If you have any car issues, that should have been taken care of beforehand, and if you have snow tires, you will be okay. If you have all seasons, give yourself additional distance between you and the vehicle in front of you.
All right, Lauren, so those are tips for the outside of the car. Is there anything, do you need to look under the hood or anything, or are you just all good to go when you just look at all the outside of the car, which you were just telling us?
Well, that basic maintenance should have been done beforehand. If you've got a check engine light or any issues, find a mechanic and get that taken care of. I'm sure they're going to be very busy tomorrow with dead batteries and other issues of cars that are stuck. So keep that in mind, that if you're in a rush to be somewhere, prepare way in advance. Going under the hood, unless you know what you're doing, don't find yourself an ASC certified technician to do the work for you.
All right, Lauren, final question, and this is not car related, because you mentioned you are trying to go to the game tomorrow. Yeah. Are you going to be one of the many that are going to be helping shovel out Highmark Stadium so they can get the game going?
That's a good one.
No, I'm not going to do that. They pay $20 an hour, and people will be down there shoveling. It's a great way to make a few extra bucks. Remember, they've got a lot of employees, but not everybody can go out and shovel for whatever reason. So they're going to be paying people to come out. Good support for Western New York. I'll be there cheering on the Bills. Let's hope they beat the Steelers. Sorry, Steelers fans. We need to get into we need to get through the playoffs.
We'll have feet of snow, Buffalo, and then definitely up towards the Tug Hill Plateau. Wind gusts right now in Buffalo, 35 miles per hour. You are under a winter storm warning, and we're expecting snow for a significant portion of time. Lynette, there's a travel ban in parts of Erie County right now. It's just dangerous out there.
It is, and we've had snow squall warnings for since the beginning of the show, and they just keep on adding up. They keep on piling up. We're going to continue to watch these grow, unfortunately, because we do have these bands. And when I'm talking about the snow squall warnings, I'm talking about these polygons that are purple. And the reason why we're seeing some of these squalls is because we do have this Arctic cold front that continues to push on off towards the east. So at this point, we have over a dozen of these snow squall warnings. I'm going to break down a few of them for you as we look at the city of Edison, Old Bridge, and also around Woodbridge. This goes until about 12:45, and we'll time it out as if you're in Patterson, 12:39. In New York, we're looking at 12:58 to 1:11 in New Rochelle. Long Branch coming in at 1:29, and Oyster Bay is at 1:35. So you look at snow squalls, and they are like a wall of snow that you're running into. Everything's fine, and then all of a sudden you have this big snow burst, and you lose visibility because the snow is just blowing rapidly and you can't see anything, and then that's when you'll start to see pile-ups on the roadways, accidents. So you need to stay off the roadways. This is why we're dealing with, again, travel ban in some spots. Now let's look out for the cities of Hamilton, Philadelphia, and also Trenton. This is another snow squall warning. For Philly, 12:48, we're looking at 101 in Trenton, and Washington, 114, 145 in Jackson, and 150 in Vinland, Vineland. Sorry if I mispronounce that for you, but the bottom line is you get the gist. I'm trying to keep you safe out here. Again, if you're in that area, just wait till it passes, and then you can get out on the roadways. This is what we have around Buffalo right now. Gusts up to about 35 miles an hour. Still snowing. Erie, you're better. We're looking at no snow at this point, but just remember, we don't need problems on the roadways for the snow to fall from the sky. It's still on the ground. We have the wind. It's still blowing. It's still whipping. Traverse City falling from the sky. We do have the gust out there, still falling from the sky in Grand Rapids. We're still dealing with those gusts again, about 20 to 25 miles an hour. Have the winter weather alerts right through this afternoon. So the winter weather advisory still stands, but also the winter storm warnings. When we talk about winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories, travel is going to be difficult for both of them, but with the winter storm warning, that just goes to show you that we're dealing with some heavier snowfall totals across the area. This lake effect snow, before it's all said and done, Molly, some spots like Watertown, possibly now maybe up to 2 feet of snow. Snow squall warnings, definitely the big thing at this point. So we zoom in, we do have a lot of them at this point. We can see what's happening around the counties of Albany, around Saratoga, also around Schenectady at this point. This goes until 1:30 this afternoon, and we can go ahead and try to time this out for you, and you can see what's going on as we continue through this area. You do not want to get out on the roadways as of now. You definitely need to want these squall lines to go past you. We are dealing with an Arctic front at this point, and this continues to work its way on off to the north and east at this point as well. So look at this. Around Albany, we're looking at 101. This will be on you. Bennington, 141. Pittsfield at 201. And Putney, we're looking at 230. And Greenfield at 243. So if you're leaving from these areas or trying to head to these areas, don't do it, because you're going to be running into a wall of snow, and that is going to pose a problem. You cannot see. Visibility is very poor. And we look at another snow squall warning right now. This is for Hyde Park and also around Kingston, the cities here. This goes until 1:30 as well. 112 in Pittsfield, 129 Washington, and Winchester 149. Springfield coming in at 215, Enfield coming in about 225. So it is going to continue for a while, but then we'll start to see some changes in the forecast. So you will be able to get out and about, do what you need to do. But also remember, we already do have some snow on the ground, so it's still going to be a little bit slick. We're looking at gusts back off towards Buffalo, about 46 miles an hour at this point. Still a good swath of this lake effect snow coming in across the area. So before it's all said and done, these numbers are really going to add up. We can see already 17 inches around Middleport, Buffalo 7.5 inches, and remember, it's still snowing. So before it's all said and done, possibly up to a foot around Buffalo. That is not out of the question. Let's head over towards the Mitten. We're looking around Grand Rapids, where we're dealing with the snow still falling, but we're also watching watching for those winds sustained now, not even gusting, up to about 25 miles an hour. So we do deal with, again, blowing snow. You don't necessarily have to have that snow falling from the sky to cause problems. As long as you have the winds, it's going to whip it around. Winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings. We're seeing this around Watertown, Buffalo, also around Rochester.